This is just going to be a short tip. It's common sense, but common sense is not so common these days. So what one generation thinks is not important to be said, another generation, it could make all the difference in the world. I'm not claiming to be an expert in any way. So with that being said, I've noticed the increase on people getting lost in the San Gabriel Mountains is doubling or tripling each year. There are people getting lost, search and rescue constantly. These people aren't hurt, most of them. Like this last guy, he got lost off of a very popular trail with posted signs and a view of the 2 highway in most places, and if not, you know the direction of it. So when you are new to an area, hiking an area, do yourself a favor, a big favor. Do not rely on your little phones or your battery operated GPS and such. You can carry those things if they work for you, but there's nothing that's going to beat a map. Get a map of the area, go over it a few weeks in advance if you can. Look at it, look at the way you're planning on going, look at some of the surrounding landmarks, peaks, things like this, where roads are located, all in configuration with north, south, east, west, the compass. So when hiking the San Gabriel Mountains, keep these few things in mind, and most likely you'll be able to self-rescue. With the San Gabriel Mountains specifically, if you look at your map, the crest pretty much runs east and west. Actually, it's northeast to southwest, but you can consider that east-west to get you where you're going to go. What I mean by that is, anywhere you are, say you're right here and you're totally lost and you don't know which way is which, you don't know if you're coming or going, you would put a stick in the ground like so. Wait, you see which way the sun's going, say the shadow's there, you put your rock there. Now in 15 minutes time, say the shadow's over here, put a rock there. There's your west, east. So you know that's your north, south. You have to know those things for it to work. So I know that's east, I know this is west. That's north, that's south. So if I look that way, if you get up high enough, south is the ocean side. Side you can view the ocean from. Now, according to what side you started from, that's another thing you have to keep in mind. What side did you start from, the north or the south? It gives you a direction to head back to. Another way, this way will work at night. At night you don't have shadows, but this is a rough way to do it at night. Not so much on a cloudy day. You're kind of dude, you're screwed on a cloudy day. So knowing that I came up from the side I'm on, I know this is the south side. I've never gone over the crest. I know the south is in back of me just by looking down. But at night, you can see that plane, the planes, the international flight trail that runs right alongside the crest. And if you were ever flying from out of the country or actually flying from anywhere, coming back to LAX, you look out your window, you'll see you're flying right over the San Gabriels. So that's another good way to tell. The moss growing on one side of the tree, it doesn't work here. You see moss on both sides. So there's the predominant side, but you really gotta be able to look to tell. Best way would be from that shadow, here's east and west, or just from looking down. You look down, you can see the ocean, or if you look down, you can see the desert. Desert, you're obviously on the north side. And then if you're familiar with surrounding peaks, like I'm familiar with this, I looked on the map. This is PHARRAOH Canyon. So I'm going uphill. So obviously, to get back to Highway 39, I'd be headed back this way. You just got to keep these things in mind to prevent you from getting lost. And don't panic. You panic, you start moving quicker, start making bad decisions, and you get lost. One of the main things is, though, as you're hiking, familiarize yourself with landmarks that stick out. Like this fire break over here, going up this hill. I know for a fact that fire break is on the crest that goes in between West Fork and Smith Peak. It continues, it drops down there and continues up and goes to Crystal Lake. So right here, if I'm lost, I know that's Crystal Lake, I know that's Smith Peak, I know this is PHARRAOH. It's pretty easy to familiarize myself, which that would also tell me that's Glendora Ridge Road. You start putting all these things together and you get yourself a picture in your head, and the map, if you have the map with you, it makes it so much easier. You get back here, you lose your phone, batteries die, you drop it, it breaks, falls in the water. Dude, you're screwed. Don't end up like this one dude who takes a selfie of his feet and sends it to his brother and says, I'm lost. Dude, you're near a campground that's got a sign pointing you in the way. How can you be lost? It's beyond me. And even if you're just going for a day hike, short day hike, it could turn into something more. I mean, you could stumble upon a trail and say, oh, let's go check this out. It goes back, you see something real cool, you go down, you can't get back up. Now you've got to find your way out a different way. Things like that do come up constantly when I'm hiking. Constantly. Like just now. I'm considering going down there. Looks like there's something along the crest that goes down, drops down in, but that's going to drop down way back too far. I want to go in further up. So even if you're just day hiking, it's a good idea, really good idea. I have one in my backpack. I'll add a picture of it at the end. I'll take it down, show you. But I carry a small flashlight, one that's fully charged, going to last at least a few hours, at least, and pretty bright, and has a strobe effect or an SOS effect, just in case you fall down that canyon down there, you're down there and you can't get out, broken leg, helicopters looking for you. They're gonna see that light at night. They won't be flying at night, but towards night, it starts to get a little darker. Hikers and things, they're gonna see that strobe a lot better than just like a steady beam. But I carry a space blanket or mylar sheet, I believe they're called, an emergency blanket. I like the ones that are orange on one side and silver on the other, but all of mine are years old and have seriously been used over the past 10 years, and all of the silver is all crinkled up and almost gone. So I have a brand new all silver one in my pack right now. That will do many things. Keep you a little bit warmer at night. Also, you spread that blanket out on top of a bush. If a plane's flying over, a helicopter's flying over searching for you during the day, that they're gonna see that right away. They're gonna see it right away, circle back and look, and then you're right by it making some kind of motion. You're gonna get found. Flashlight, and I have a small compass for when you're down and you can't see over. I can still see my north, south, east, west, and a map of the area. You get a map of the area and a compass, you're pretty much good to go. Keep in mind though, if you're getting highly technical and you have one of those maps with the spotting line to keep things in line, keep in mind, you look at that map, it's going to be, I believe it's 11 or 13 degrees off. If you don't know what that means, search for a video, offset on a map and compass. Each map is off a little bit, a certain amount of degrees according to where you are in the globe. But in this area, I think it's 11 or 13 degrees. Another way people get lost, not paying attention, you will not believe me, but over the years I've encountered more than you would believe people making this mistake. While in right there, when you're hiking into a canyon with a river, and the river on the hike, the river is going to be within view almost the entire time. Like for instance, the all famous Bridge to Nowhere hike. The East Fork River flows downhill, south, flows down. Look at the river, it's coming at you, it's flowing down. The whole day you're going upriver. When you go to leave, what way do you go? The opposite way, downriver. I've encountered people back in Allison Gulch trying to make it back to the parking lot from the Bridge to Nowhere. They were so involved in their earphones and selfies that they followed that river down till it met another river, and then they followed that river upstream. It doesn't make sense. I know it does not make sense at all, but today's people, a lot of them don't make sense. So pay attention to the canyons, pay attention to the peaks, the trails, the roads, the rivers, all of it to give you the big picture of where you are, especially if you have kids with you. You don't want to keep your kids out here overnight without the proper gear. It makes for a rough night being out here without any gear. I've done that, but I've done it intentionally. So A, you've got the stick, the shadow stick. Put the stick in the ground, straight up and down. Mark the shadow. The shadow's coming out here. You mark that with a rock. "15 minutes you wait, 15, 20 minutes. Now say the shadow's here. You mark that with a rock. It's that simple. There's your east and west. There's your north and south. East, west, north, south.